fish. I can't tell if that's a fish or if I bumped the bottom. I believe it's a fish. Come on up. Yeah, yeah. That's a little crappie. There we go. First fish. First little crappie, and I mean it's a little one. Good morning, folks. It's June the 20th. I'm on Truman Lake. Going to troll some crankbaits today. I've never trolled crankbaits on this lake before that I can recall. Just came out here, got along a bluff line in some deep water and put them out. We're going to just troll along and see if we can pick up a few. It's about 70 degrees this morning. The wind has just started to blow a little bit. And actually we're going into the wind, which I prefer not to do, but that sun is so bright if I turn and go with the wind, the camera will be shining right in the sun. So I'm going against the wind. I'm going 1.6 miles per hour. I've got a variety of Bandit 300 crankbaits on here. I have one jointed shad wrap. I'm just going to experiment. The water temperature is 82 degrees, so it's perfect crankbait weather. Like I say, this is my first crankbaiting trip out this year, this summer, and just going to relax, fish a little bit, see if we can catch a few fish. Thanks for being with me. Oh, there you go. Come on up. There you go. Get him up on top. That's a pretty good little fish. That's on the mistake colored Bandit. If you can see that. Nice little fish there to be a good eater. I'm not keeping any fish today. I'm just going to see if I can catch a few, figure this lake out a little bit. People send me comments and they ask me when I'm using this spinning gear, well, how far out are you? How far are you throwing out there? I don't have any idea. I'm just casting it just about as far as I can cast it. And that'll get that bait down to its maximum depth. And so I don't know. I'm not using bait casters. I'm not using line counters today. We're just flat lining with spinning gear and just throwing them out. Making it simple. Boy, that sun's bright. I'm in my new Bass Cat Jaguar 2021, brand new boat. I haven't had it but just a few months. I really like it. Got Millennium rod holders in the back of this. Seems to be working out pretty good, but like I said, this is my first time out pulling crankbaits in this boat, so we're just going to experiment and make adjustments as we need to. I'm going about 1.6 miles per hour, which is just my favorite kind of confidence speed when trolling crankbaits. in the summertime in this hot weather. It's nice this morning, but it's supposed to get up to about 90-something degrees today. I think it's going to be hot. We had a storm come through last night, heavy rain, so we'll see what it does to these fish today. Water looks good up here. I'm in the Osage arm of Truman Lake in central Missouri. Like I said, I've never trolled crankbaits on this lake before, so this is a new experience for me. I have no idea where to go or where to find them, but I know in the summertime they'll get out here over these channels in this deeper water. At least they do at Lake of the Ozarks. We'll see if we can find them like that here on Truman. All right, we've trolled along here pretty good distance along this bluff. I'm not seeing many fish on the graph, and we haven't caught any fish to speak of, so I'm going to pull up and change locations. Oh, is that a fish? Got a little bump. There's one. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's fish. I thought I was in the tree. That doesn't feel like a crappie. Yeah, maybe a pretty good one. Just tighten my drag down a little bit. Yeah, nice crappie. If I can get it in. Oh yeah, that's a better fish. That's more what we're talking about. Well, if I can get it out. More. Get all hung up here. Watch what I'm doing. I think that fish hit that other rod and then came over and got that bait. That's a nice fish there. Let's see. Yeah, that fish is right at 13 inches long. Nice fish. Finally. On the old sun perch. On trees or fish. These baits will bump the top of those trees and that bill will hit the limb and deflect off of it. A lot of times that's when you'll catch a crappie. That's a fish, I think. Oh yeah. And of course, I'm about to run aground. That's a good fish there. Let's get that in. Oh yeah. Got him up skiing. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. There you go. Nice fish. That's on the blue and chartreuse. For these hooks, they get them. That's a nice fish. Good keeper. Let's see what that little fish will weigh. I'm going to say 0.80. Oh no. 103. 1 pound, 3 ounces. Nice fish. All right, I've gotten off the bluff now. Get back over here. Nope, that a fish? Yep. All right, we're starting to get in them a little bit, finally. Yeah, another good one. There we go. It's on the wild thing. I love the wild thing. Another nice fish. Not as big as the last one. Thank you. Oh. All right, where am I? What am I doing? I like it when it gets busy like that. Look here. All right, now we're talking. Now we're talking. I was beginning to think I'd forgotten how to do crankbaits. What in the world? Pull that drag, baby. Yeah, come on. That fish not that big. He's acting big. Decent little fish, but it's little. That's on pink. They like it all today. Finally. What time is it? 8:56. That's a little one, but it'd been a keeper. He seemed to be waking up. Maybe they were just asleep this morning. Let me tell you a little bit about the equipment I'm using, if I can keep from running into anything. A friend of mine that trolls a lot of crankbaits down in Mississippi, and boy, that's the place to troll crankbaits in Mississippi. Turn me on to these rods. This is a B&M, Bucks B&M Ultimate Super Stiff. It's 8 feet long, which is a perfect length for casting. I don't like to cast them much longer than that. They just get a little bulky, but 7.5, 8 foot rods are great for this flatline fishing. It's got a sensitive tip, but a stiff backbone. And as you can see, it handles these fish great. And the spinning reel is a B&M Pro 100. It's got a great drag on it. You hear that? And you can see that when I caught that fish. I'm going to run into the trees. But it's a Pro 100 B&M reel. I've got 8 pound high vis vicious line on here. I like that vicious line, mono, high vis, yellow. You can see it good. It's got some good stretch in it. You need a little stretch when you're pulling these crankbaits, so it has a little give. It doesn't tear the hooks out of their mouth. I'm trolling Bandit 300 crankbaits this morning, variety of colors. Finally starting to catch a few. It's been slow this morning. But that's my setup. I put a little tape on each one, different color. So, is that a fish? So if I'm paying attention and I'm keeping track, I know I got a pink bait on my rod with the white tape. And I can just kind of keep track. If I want to change out baits, I know what color's on what rod. All right, where am I? Cast out to the side. rotate. Cast out to the side. That way I don't get any overlap. Move those in. All right, I've gotten off the bluff. Let's get back over close to it. See if we can catch another fish. That was fun. Kind of wake me up. I was a little in a lull this morning. We'll turn around and go back through that area. Anyway, with these rods being 8 foot long, that's a good length because they're still very castable, but you get a maximum spread. Flatlining like this, I could lay these two outside rods flatter and spread them out more. I've got them more standing up so the camera can see the rod tip, but if I wasn't filming, I'd have the two outside rods sticking straight out more parallel to the water surface. And so you got 8 feet on each side. The width of the boat's, what, 8.5 feet? So you're covering 24 feet of water like that. That came over a tree, I think. So it's kind of the perfect length of a rod, and like I say, these are stiff enough. You need to have a rod that's got some good backbone, because those crankbaits have a lot of drag, and if you get a good fish on there, you want to be able to muscle it in, and these rods are great for that. I'm glad to get to use these, and another good fish. Boy, every time. The key is to stay close to the timber, obviously, but then you got to try not to run into it. Wild thing. Wanted to put more wild things on. Little fish, little 9-incher. This is a good simple setup. I wanted to do this video today using spinning gear because I get a lot of moms and dads say, hey, you know, what's some good simple gear I can get for my kids? Take them out, troll some crankbaits, teach them how. And spinning reels are easy for kids to use. You know, a bait caster, pretty easy to backlash. Need a little more practice with that, but a kid can pick up a spinning reel and rod and reel combo like that and get it very easy. And so I wanted to show that you don't have to have heavy bait cast gear to troll crankbaits, but you need a rod that's got some backbone. A real flimsy rod just won't do it for the crankbaits. These reels, these B&M Pro 100s, are relatively inexpensive too, and for the price, they're a great reel. 5-ball bearings, a great drag system, as you've seen. So if you want to buy a setup, take your kids fishing, this would be a good setup for that. I'll put a link in the description below to the rod that I'm using, the reel, and the line, the vicious line I'm using. There you go. Any 8-pound high-vis line works, but I just like the vicious line. Oh, that's got a tree there. Uh-oh, I'm going to lose that crankbait. Did it come off? Oh, I think it came off. The crankbait came off the tree. Boy, that's another nice fish. There's some fish on the outside of all these trees. You just got to get in here and be brave. You're going to lose some crankbaits, but that's just part of it. Now that's on the mistake. They like a variety today. Just when I think I'm going to go to all a certain color, they bite a different color. That's a nice little fish. What's that? About 10 inches maybe? Oh! We're not going to find out. Yeah, oh, that's 11 1/4 inch fish. That'd be a great fish if you were keeping some for a fish fry. Look out, I'm gonna turn!
How many you got?
There are no fish over here, don't come over here.
We were looking for a hot hole.
No, there's no fish over here. I'm gonna go back through it again just to confirm that. I've caught.
He's on TV.
That's right. You're on video. You're interrupting my filming.
Hey, so here, let me moon you. Is there any white bass?
I haven't caught any white bass, but I have caught some good crappie. Yeah. Are you all doing any good? No. Just right through here. I was down or up earlier. I didn't catch anything up there, but I just got on a little stretch here. It's got some fish on it. All right, I've got a blue and chrome laying here. That's a good crappie bait. Let's try that. I don't know if you can see this or not. I always tie either a little red snap or a little red number 12 swivel on my crankbaits. Gives them a little freedom of movement and makes it easier to change baits out. It's a little tougher running crankbaits over here on Truman than Lake of the Ozarks. You don't have to worry about running into the trees on Lake of the Ozarks. You just got to worry about running into docks. Oh, what we got here? Fish! It's a fish! It's a crappie. Good one. Decent one, I'll say. Oh, look at there, little black crappie came to play. It's on that blue and chrome. Well, why didn't you tell me I had one on that one? Nice little keeper. Oh yeah. Love these rods. Reels. Another black. Ran into a little school of black crappie in there. On the mistake. Make no mistake, that's a black crappie that's got a stunted, crooked tail. It tastes just the same. Okay, I'm in 36 feet of water along this channel bank. Come out of that tree. I'm up kind of tight against it. It's a little deeper out off of it a little bit. These fish are just suspended in these trees out here, kind of roaming. It's post-spawn. Fish have moved off the bank, moving out, feeding up. There's some shad in here, and they'll follow the shad. Man, look at those big old caves up there on that cliff. I hope you can see that. Isn't that neat? It'd be a good place to hide from the police if I ever needed to. Or hide from my wife. I'm not afraid of the police, but my wife's a different story. That's neat. Fish or tree? I believe it's fish. So where's it going? Oh yeah, crappie, finally. Another little crappie, but be a good eater. That's on the old blue chrome. Can you see that? Decent little fish. It'd go on the stringer if I was keeping some. That's a good 10-inch fish or better. Could measure it. Ten and a half. All right, folks, it's 15 minutes until 11 o'clock. I'm getting hungry. I'm gonna go to the house. I just wanted to come out, troll a few crankbaits on Truman Lake. I haven't done it. It's been kind of fun. It's a little different trying to run these through the trees. I only lost 3 baits today. I think that's a pretty good outing for me. Oh. Another crappie. Yeah, another decent fish. On the wild thing. These fish are skinny. Post spawn. They're out here feeding up, trying to restore themselves. Chasing shad around. There you go. Anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted, I'm gonna call it a day. Get you a spinning rod and a reel, handful of crankbaits, grab your kids, go troll some. It's fun. I enjoy this. It's pretty relaxing, really. Kind of beats the grind of having to pound away on them in a tournament and stand up all day. You can sit down and enjoy yourself. So I'm going to call it a day. Thanks for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, I hope you'll subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, do all those things, whatever. Thanks for being with me.